the neurovascular structures of the lower limb. Okay, we have already done with the femoral artery and profunda femoris, right? Today we are going to deal with the popliteal artery, right? So popliteal artery, in order to know the popliteal artery, okay, we have to know the popliteal fossa, which is the back of the, situated in the back of the knee, right? Bend of the back of the knee. Let's admit. Okay. So the popliteal fossa is an important area of transition, right, between the thigh and leg, and is the major route by which structures pass from one region to the other region. That means if structures pass from one region to the other region, that means structures are going to be renamed. That means they are going to be named, right? For example, if the structure is passing, okay, external iliac artery is passing through the inguinal ligament, right? So what happens? The same external iliac artery is known as femoral artery beyond the inguinal ligament, right? So that is the thing. So after crossing the adductor hiatus, okay, if the artery is passed after the adductor hiatus, the femoral artery is known as popliteal artery. The same femoral artery, same external iliac artery, as it knows, as it known as femoral artery beyond the inguinal ligament, right? So as the same femoral artery beyond the adductor hiatus and within the popliteal fossa is known as popliteal artery. Immediately after crossing the popliteal fossa, it is known as, it divides into tibial arteries, right? Anterior and posterior tibial arteries. Okay, we had discussed that in length in when overview of the lower limb arterial system, right? So the popliteal fossa is a diamond-shaped space behind the knee joint, formed between the muscles in the posterior compartments of the thigh and leg. That means posterior compartment of the thigh, right? This is thigh, okay, thigh, and this is leg. So muscles, okay. So there is diamond shaped space behind the knee. That means behind the knee joint, diamond shaped space is known as popliteal fossa, right? So this one is the popliteal fossa, right? So this is the thigh and this one is a leg, right? So back of the muscles of the thigh and back of the muscles of the leg, right? So that is popliteal fossa for you. So the margins of the upper part of the diamond are formed medially by the distal ends of the semitendinosus and semimembranosus muscles and laterally by the distal end of the biceps femoris. That means semitendinosus, semimembranosus and biceps femoris, right? Upper part, back of the thigh muscles, right? The margins of the smaller lower part of the space are formed medially by the medial head of the gastrocnemius and laterally by the plantaris and the lateral head of the gastrocnemius. So medial head and lateral head of the gastrocnemius, right? And again plantaris muscle also. Admit all, right? Again somebody admit all. Okay. The floor of the fossa is from, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Right. I'm going to mute everyone. Right. So the floor of the fossa is formed by the capsule of the knee joint, okay, that is the floor and adjacent surface of the femur and tibia, and more inferiorly by the popliteus muscles, okay, popliteus muscle, right, which unlock the knee joint, right. The roof is formed by deep fascia which is continuous above with the fascia lat of the thigh and below with the deep fascia of the leg, right. So see, this is the biceps femoris. Biceps femoris, these are the tendinosus and membranosus muscles of the back of the thigh, right. There is joint space up to here. Medial head of gastrocnemius, lateral head of gastrocnemius, plantaris, and the popliteus muscles, right. So this is popliteal fossa, right. Those are the boundaries of popliteal fossa. You see, these are the contents. Sorry, uh, contents. Contents of the popliteal fossa is nerve, artery, and vein. Right. Superficially, the popliteal fossa is crossed by small saphenous vein. Right. You see here, small saphenous vein, but this is the superficial structure. Okay. Superficial structures, and there is nerve, tibial nerve, which is a branch of sciatic nerve, right, tibial nerve, and common fibular nerve, common peroneal nerve. Here lies popliteal artery and popliteal vein, right. Those are the contents of the popliteal fossa. Okay, this is more clearly popliteal artery, this one, right, and its branches, superior branches and inferior branches, along with popliteal vein and femoral, tibial nerve and common fibular nerve. This is the femoral nerve, okay, tibial nerve and common fibular nerve, and their branches all in the popliteal fossa, right. So these are the muscles, okay, semimembranosus muscle and semitendinosus muscle. So these are formed by this diamond shape is popliteal fossa, okay, biceps femoris, gastrocnemius, right. You see the popliteus, right, which unlocks the knee joint, and plantaris muscle, smallest thread-like muscle, right. You remember the muscles of the leg. Right. Again, muscles along with the contents of the structure, tibial nerve, popliteal vein, and popliteal artery. Within the popliteal fossa, artery is the deepest structure. Okay, that is why popliteal pulse. Okay, popliteal pulse is the most difficult peripheral pulse to palpate because it is the deepest structure within the popliteal fossa. You observe the tibial nerve, tibial artery, and tibial vein, right? This one is common fibular nerve, right? This is the adductor hiatus. This level, adductor hiatus, right? See more clearly, the tibial sciatic nerve continues as tibial nerve 1, giving branches, right? Common fibular nerve, this one. This is the tibial nerve. And when you see artery is the deepest structure, right? Popliteal artery. You getting it, right? And there popliteal vein accompanying the artery. Now this is more clear than the previous one. Tibial nerve, common fibular nerve, okay. Tibial nerve, popliteal artery and vein. Popliteal artery along with its branches, superior branches and inferior branches, which we will going to discuss. Again, this one, right? Now artery vein. Again, this one, right? You see the popliteus muscle, right? Cut one of the plantaris, the thread-like muscle. You see this one, right? How they are giving branches, right? And this is the schematic diagram of artery, vein, and nerve, right? Within the diamond-shaped popliteal fossa, right? Okay. The popliteal artery is the continuation of the femoral artery and crosses the popliteal fossa. It descends laterally from the opening in the adductor magnus to the femoral intercondylar fossa, inclining obliquely. This is the most important thing. Okay, this inclines obliquely to the distal border of the popliteus, where it divides into anterior and posterior tibial arteries. So, distal border of the popliteal muscle, it decides into the tibial arteries, anterior and posterior, right? The division usually occurs at the proximal end of the interosseous space between the wide tibial metaphyseal and slender fibular metaphysis. Okay, that means tibia and fibula, right? There is interosseous membrane, right? So here it happens as anterior and posterior tibial arteries, like that. This is just showing a schematic one, right? So remember this oblique and the distal end of the popliteus, right? The artery is relatively tethered at the adductor hiatus and again distally by the fascia related to soleus, and is therefore susceptible to damage following knee injuries. Example, dislocation. So that means it is more prone to injuries and okay, it is tethered at adductor hiatus. Okay, at the origin it is vulnerable, and again in the soleus. Okay, that means in the leg before the bifurcation into the tibial arteries, it is more prone, and aneurysm of the popliteal artery are not common. In fact, aneurysm of the popliteal artery is the one of the most common aneurysms happen. Right? You see why this obliquity is important is, you see in the upper part, in the middle part, the relations are changing, right? In the upper part, in the middle one, and in the lower part. In the upper part, from lateral to medial, right? This one is lateral and this one is medial. Okay, artery, vein, nerve. Okay, in the middle, superior to deep, nerve, vein, artery. Okay, wherever, whether the upper or the middle or the lower, artery is the deepest one, right? And in the lower part, from lateral to medial, nerve, vein, and artery. So this is how it is inclined. Okay, inclining obliquely. You see, somebody is waiting for us. Okay, admit all. Right. So there are so many anatomical variations. Okay, the popliteal artery may occasionally bifurcate before more superiorly and divides into terminal branches proximal to the popliteus. Usually it should be distal to the popliteus, right? But here proximal to the popliteus is a variation, or it may trifurcate into anterior and posterior tibial and fibular arteries, right? Usually the fibular artery is the branch of posterior tibial artery, but again this is a variation. Sometimes the fibular artery may arise directly from the stem of popliteal artery. Either another variation is either the anterior tibial or the posterior tibial artery may reduced or increased in size. Okay, rarely the anterior tibial artery is the source of the fibular artery. Okay, this is the rare. Fibular artery is always from posterior tibial artery or sometimes from directly from popliteal artery, but rarity is from anterior tibial artery. Variation that is almost always associated with a high bifurcation of the popliteal artery. That means whenever the fibular artery arises from the anterior tibial artery, it always has the association of the bifurcation of the popliteal artery is at the proximal level, right? Usually it should be bifurcated at the distal to the popliteus muscle, but because it is bifurcated at the level of proximally to the popliteus, it may give rise to the fibular artery from anterior tibial artery, right? The popliteal and inferior gluteal arteries may be joined by a large anastomotic vessel. In such cases, the femoral artery is hypoplastic. If the inferior gluteal vessel, which are present at the hip region, and popliteal artery are anastomose, in such case the femoral artery is hypoplastic. That means not so developed or not well developed. When this occurs, that means this hypostatic femoral artery occurs, the popliteal artery usually has an abnormal relationship to the popliteus, running deep to the muscle before dividing it into its terminal branches. So if the femoral artery is hypoplastic, that means if there is anastomosis between popliteal artery and inferior gluteal artery, okay, this is in the hip region, this is in the popliteal region, popliteal artery, inferior gluteal artery, okay. If the anastomose, okay, femoral artery is usually hypoplastic, and in that case this popliteal artery run deep to the popliteus muscle, okay, run deep to the popliteus muscle, and then it divides into anterior and posterior tibial arteries. The popliteal artery may pass medially beneath the medial head of the gastrocnemius, or may pass beneath the aberrant band of muscle in the popliteal fossa. In either case, that means the medial head of the gastrocnemius, beneath the head, the contraction of the muscles may occlude the artery, okay. So whenever it passes deep to the gastrocnemius or popliteus, okay, they usually the contraction of the muscles, okay, whenever the muscle contracts, the artery occludes, right? And so the patient develops, or the person develops pain. Claudication as an exertion, okay. Claudication means contraction of leg muscles, okay. Usually smokers have that, okay. The popliteal vein, okay, usually superficial and adjacent to the artery, but it may run deep to the artery or may be separated from it by a slip of muscle derived from the medial head of the gastrocnemius. So these are all the variations. That means sometimes the artery usually bifurcates at the distal end of popliteus, right? But the variation is sometimes it may bifurcate at the proximal end, okay. And sometimes the fibular artery directly arises from the popliteal artery, okay. If the bifurcation is at the proximal part, okay, usually there is fibular artery coming from anterior tibial artery, right? Sometimes the artery runs deep to the popliteus, right, and gastrocnemius, deep to the gastrocnemius. In that case, whenever the muscles are contracting, that means whenever we are walking and whenever we are doing exercise, like that, the artery is going to be occluded, okay, because of the force of contraction. Then the person usually develop pain and intermittent claudication, right? These are all the anatomical variations of the popliteal artery. So while dissecting, sometimes you may encounter some of these variations, right? Okay. Coming to the relations, anteriorly from proximal to distal, okay, fat covering popliteal surface, the capsule of the knee joint and the fascia of the popliteus. So proximal to the distal. Posteriorly are semimembranosus and gastrocnemius and plantaris, right? In between, the artery is separated from the skin and fascia by fat and crossed from its lateral to medial side by the tibial nerve and popliteal vein. You see, these are the anterior relations of the popliteal artery, capsule of the knee joint, popliteus fascia, right? Popliteal fat, lymph nodes, right? So these are the schematic diagram of relationships anterior. So you see, these are all the muscles we have already seen, right? Gastrocnemius, all those things. Fibular nerve, common fibular nerve. This is the tibial nerve. Okay, this one. And within the popliteal fossa, sciatic nerve continues as the tibial nerve. So tibial nerve. The vein lies between the nerve and artery and is adherent to the latter. That means adherent to the artery. Laterally, there is biceps femoris, tibial nerve, popliteal vein, lateral femoral condyle, plantaris, and the lateral head of the gastrocnemius are distal ones. Right, medially, semimembranosus, medial femoral condyle, tibial nerve, popliteal vein, and gastrocnemius. Once you see the popliteal fossa along with muscles and veins and nerves, you will immediately identify those relations, right? So then there is a particular anastomosis around the knee joint is called as genicular anastomosis, because the popliteal artery within the popliteal fossa gives branches. Okay, they are called as genicular branches. As you have if you remember your previous class of the femoral artery giving descending genicular artery, right? So those vessels are called as genicular arteries, and they anastomose and form a ring around the knee joint called as genicular anastomosis of the knee joint. Okay, there is an intricate arterial anastomosis around the patella and femoral and tibial condyles, right? A superficial network spreads between the fascia and skin around the patella and in the fat deep to the patellar ligament. A deep network lies on the femur and tibia near their adjoining articular surfaces and supplies the bone, articular capsule, and synovial membrane. So this knee joint is supplied by this genicular anastomosis, right? The vessels involved in this anastomosis are superior, medial and lateral genicular arteries, inferior, medial and lateral genicular arteries, descending genicular, okay, descending branch of lateral circumflex femoral artery, okay, femoral artery. So this is also a branch of femoral artery, right? Descending genicular is the distal branch of femoral artery, if you remember, and circumflex fibular artery, right? And anterior and posterior tibial recurrent arteries, okay? So all of these forms anastomosis around the knee joint, thereby supplying the knee joint and the surrounding structure. You see this is the descending branch of lateral circumflex femoral artery, okay? We have already seen this in our last class. Superior, lateral. So this is lateral, this is medial, okay? So superior lateral genicular artery, superior medial genicular artery. Okay, superior to the knee joint. Okay, there is superior, inferior. Okay, there are genicular arteries. Okay, superior lateral genicular artery, superior medial genicular artery, inferior lateral genicular artery, inferior medial genicular artery, right? These are the branches of the popliteal artery. Okay. So this one is popliteal artery, right? I'm going to, so superior lateral genicular artery and superior medial genicular artery, inferior lateral genicular artery and inferior medial genicular artery. Okay, these are all anastomosing. And again you see recurrent branch of anterior tibial, right? So tibial artery gives branch known as anterior and posterior recurrent branches, right? This is the anterior one, and there is a posterior recurrent also, and there is circumflex fibular artery, that means artery surrounds circumflex. Okay, so all of these intricately anastomose with one and forms the uh, genicular anastomosis, right? You see superior genicular artery, superior lateral, and right, these are the branches of popliteal artery again. So coming to the branches, right? So first one is superior genicular arteries. Superior genicular arteries branch from the popliteal. Okay, we are running out of time. Popliteal artery curving round proximal to both femoral condyles to reach the anterior aspect of the knee. Okay, curving round proximal to both femoral condyles to reach anterior aspect of the knee. So from posterior to the anterior, they curve round the femoral condyles, medial and lateral femoral condyles. Okay, reach anteriorly and anastomose with other genicular arteries, right? Superior medial genicular artery lies under semimembranosus and semitendinosus, proximal to the medial head of the gastrocnemius and deep to the tendon of adductor magnus. Because this is medial side, we have relations of semimembranosus, tendinosus and gastrocnemius. It divides into branch to vastus medialis that anastomose with the descending genicular and inferior medial genicular arteries. Okay, you read this carefully because superior medial genicular artery gives branch to the vastus medialis, which anastomoses with the descending genicular artery of the femoral artery, right? And inferior medial genicular artery and a branch that ramifies on the femur and anastomose with the superior lateral genicular artery. Okay, again there is another branch, that means two branches, one branch to vastus medialis which anastomoses with inferior medial genicular artery and descending genicular artery of femoral artery, right? Another branch ramifies on the femur and anastomose with the lateral genicular artery, superior lateral genicular artery. That means this artery, okay, it anastomose with descending genicular artery, inferior genicular artery, and lateral superior genicular artery of the lateral. So this is the like that. 1, 2, 3. Its size varies inversely with that of descending genicular artery. The superior lateral, okay, we came to the lateral. Lateral genicular artery passes under tendon of biceps femoris because laterally there is biceps femoris. Pierces the lateral intermuscular septum and divides into superficial and deep branches, right? The superficial branch supplies vastus lateralis, whereas the superior medial genicular artery branch supplies the vastus medialis. Remember that, and anastomose with the descending branch of the lateral circumflex femoral artery, okay, and inferior lateral genicular arteries, while the deep branch anastomose with the superior medial genicular artery, forming an anterior arch across the femur with the descending genicular artery. So whatever the artery is there, the anastomose with that artery, okay, simply speaking, to form uh, genicular anastomosis, right? This is a simple thing, okay, just read it and you will know that, right? You see, this is the superior medial genicular artery and this is the superior lateral genicular artery. So superior medial and superior lateral, this is the inferior medial and inferior lateral, we are going to discuss them. So these branches, okay, superior medial genicular artery branches anastomose with the descending branch of descending genicular artery of femoral artery, and also inferior medial genicular artery and also superior medial genicular artery, okay. This anastomose with all these things, okay, 1 2 3. Whereas this superior lateral genicular artery anastomose with lateral circumflex femoral artery of descending genicular branch of lateral circumflex femoral artery, inferior genicular artery and superior medial genicular artery, right? So 1 2 3 like that. So that means they are forming a ring around the knee joint, back of the knee joint and front of the knee joint, okay. You see, this is the ring forming, right? This is the anastomosis. Medial genicular artery is small, arises from the popliteal artery near the midpoint of posterior aspect of the knee joint. It pierces oblique popliteal ligament to supply the cruciate ligaments and synovial membrane. Okay, medial genicular artery. You see, this one is the medial genicular artery, which is supplying cruciate ligaments and synovial membrane, right? Inferior genicular arteries. So inferior medial and lateral genicular arteries arise from popliteal artery deep to the gastrocnemius. Inferior medial genicular artery is deep to the medial head of the gastrocnemius, descends along the proximal margin of the popliteus, which it supplies. It supplies the popliteus, right? Passes inferior to the medial tibial condyle under the tibial collateral ligament, and then ascends anteromedial to the knee joint at the anterior border of the tibial collateral ligament. It supplies the knee joint and tibia and anastomose with the inferior lateral and superior medial genicular arteries with the anterior tibial recurrent artery and saphenous branch of the descending genicular artery. Okay, so the descending genicular artery of the lateral circumflex has two branches, saphenous branch and articular branch. Okay, articular branch goes to the knee joint, saphenous branch goes to the inferior. The inferior lateral genicular artery runs laterally across popliteus and forwards over the head of the fibula to the front of the knee joint, passing under the lateral head of the gastrocnemius, the fibular collateral ligament, and the tendon of the biceps femoris. So whatever the structures are there, okay, like muscles and ligaments, okay. Inferior medial is medial collateral ligament and inferior lateral is fibular collateral ligament. It branches anastomose with the inferior medial, superior lateral genicular arteries, anterior and posterior tibial recurrent arteries, and the circumflex fibular branch of the posterior tibial artery. So you have to remember inferior as the superior genicular arteries, okay, medial and lateral, anastomosis with descending genicular artery and descending genicular artery of circumflex femoral arteries. These inferior genicular arteries, medial lateral, anastomose with the recurrent arteries, okay, tibial recurrent arteries. We will see them, right? You see, this is the inferior medial genicular artery, inferior lateral genicular artery, right? So this is the superior, same thing. Its branches anastomose with the inferior medial, superior lateral genicular arteries, anterior and posterior tibial recurrent arteries. That is the most important thing. And circumflex fibular branch of the posterior tibial artery. Okay. You see, this is the circumflex fibular artery arising from posterior tibial artery, right? You observe that one. And recurrent branch of anterior tibial arteries, right? This recurrent branches arises from anterior tibial artery, right? They form the anastomosis, right? They came all the way to the knee joint, right?